I should at least do my due diligence and actually look at some of the comments because this is very important to look at. But also, by the way, I didn't realize this has had 2 million views since November 23rd. Super crazy. Trending. But also, it's the fact that this issue is very important. We need to share it to as many people as we can. We need to share it to all friends and family that matter and tell them, hey, these people are garbaggio. Abroad in Japan, seeing other content creators and toxic audiences woefully degrade and diminish such an inspirational milestone as the recent subathon has been both demoralizing and absolutely pathetic. Everything Iron Mouse has achieved in her career this year alone with the subathon are insane achievements. Her story and all the success she has had gives me hope that the internet and social media aren't entirely beyond salvation. This is a very good point from Brad from Japan. Thank you very much, by the way, for your content. But the point is like, she has done so much on her platform. Like, if you actually, like the great Kai Cenat said, if you actually look at everything that Iron Mouse has done, she has done this through a safe filter that is a VTuber model, and she has garnered a community of people who love her content, who love the way she is, and vibes along with her. Kai Cenat has been, from my understanding of watching content from Kai Cenat has been able to produce this much notoriety because of crazy things, crazy streams, and very physical experiences. Iron Mouse did this in her medical bed with a box of crabs. Tony Stark built this in a cave. The box of scraps. Sorry, I was thinking about Iron Man movie recently, but it's almost very important to the idea of this, because when it comes to the situation that Iron Mouse has been through, from what Connor's explained, Iron Mouse Iron Mouse has come from a situation where she is like very, and like the fact that everyone is sharing the news because it's so important to talk about. Like, I don't know who Ellie is, but again, another brother is sharing it. And Hassan, I'm scared of what Hassan has said. Hassan's review is, but the fact that people are bringing up in a very important issue regarding the whole hate speech of it. I heard about her. I tried to watch once and got to a conclusion that this content was not for me, and you can respect that. And that's the end of it. People have way too much time on their hands. I barely have enough time to enjoy the things I like. I don't want to spend time on hating on something. That is very good. That's very right. You can decide that this content isn't for you and respect them. You can respect them for what they do, for the community that they garnered. She went from rags to riches on her own, and she is only successful right now because she did a lot on her own. She did everything. She honestly, I feel like she never came in, from my understanding, she never got into it looking for income. But when she realized she had a community, she said, hey, it honestly takes a lot from a person to admit there's a lot of bravery that is required, and a lot of courage to say, hey guys, this is my situation. I don't mean to bring my real life into this, but this is my situation, and I'm going to do this stream like she did. She says that she's going to make a stream to hopefully get a better workspace. But the reality is that she was trying to fundraise money so she can get a better medical bed, because she can't really get out of it. She can't leave her bed to do things, much like how Kai Cenat does. He can balls to walls, jump from places. He can jump around and like throw things around in his like cave. He did Chained Up with IShowSpeed, and someone pulled him whenever his character pulled as well. He did these crazy streams, and Iron Mouse doesn't have that luxury. And the fact that it took a lot of bravery for her to ask for, hey, let's fundraise together because I need this bed. The community came out of their way for her. The fact that she got a better living situation was because of her community. And you're saying she's toxic? Get out of here. Jeez, like, it's crazy to believe that it's possible to have this much hate. She got hated for being the most financially supported when she has serious medical bills. It's insane. Yeah, because the fact that she is in a situation that not a lot of people are a part of, and it's a blessing. You are so blessed if you're not stuck in a medical bed, if you're not having daily situations of, like, if you're not in a situation like this, that is a blessing. I have constant struggles when it comes to my chronic inflammations with my gout. I can never have beef anymore because it can cause me to have a gout reaction. I can never enjoy the burgers and fries that I love when... Oh no. Oh no. Sean, Connor, you made a video about why you're done, and I feel bad. But I'll look at that in a little bit, but I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry that you're going through something. And like and that's actually the funny point. You don't know what you're going, if you don't know what the person's going through, why add fuel to the fire? Like, what is wrong with you? It's like crazy to where, like, even though Kai Cenat has said, hey yo guys, stop. People do it anyways because they put their parasocial relationship above everything else, and it is crazy. Let's see if we can look at another one. I'm always taken aback when Sean of Jacksepticeye tragically lost his dad, and within hours of that, he was the subject of some of the most vile comments, and people even make multiple accounts to spam him in every post and reply, spewing this visceral hate towards him about how his dad was in hell, how he deserved to die, things thinking that they would get your teeth kicked in if you could hide behind your little monitor and keyboard. The capacity of people to think being anonymous means you can say whatever you want without consequences is astounding. And they even have the gall to tote free speech when saying these things. The people behind these 2D avatars are real people that deserve the same decency and respect that you give to anybody else. Yeah, it is incredibly concerning when, again, social media is supposed to be what it is, a place for people to socialize and send cat videos sometimes, or send cooking videos because, hey yo, this dish looks fire, make it, let's do it together. And this shit is so whack. It's so concerning that people feel like social media is a valid reason to attack each other, to post random hate comments on random forums and say these weird manifestos, because oftentimes these are calls for help. Oftentimes hurt people, and it's super crazy that it is not talked about enough about how to respect the other person, because you don't know what you're going through. Like, the people on the other side of the screen, yes, I'm in the confines and the safety of my own home, and not a lot of people have that opportunity. You can dislike somebody. You can dislike the way they talk to their family. You can dislike the way they are with social media. You can dislike the way through X, Y, and Z. But you can respect them. You don't have the right to add fuel to the fire. You don't have the right to curse their friends and family and hope that these atrocious things happen to them. One of the more recent things that I learned about, especially like another example of like absurdity, was during The Last of Us 2. When The Last of Us 2 was released, that game was not well received for some people, and for others it was the game that they were looking for. They understood it on a particular level, but when Laura Bailey was revealed to be one of the voice actors, especially the villain, people were so rude to her. In an interview regarding that game, she had to protect herself by removing herself from social media for a time, because at the release of Last of Us 2, her character did something really evil in a way. When the reality is, the game is just about people who are just surviving. There's honestly no good or evil thing. The only evil thing are the people who are turned into like the lurkers, the monsters who attack everything around them without conscious. The moment you have a conscious thought of I think, I feel, I will, it is you have you are not the villain. People often make decisions based on how they're feeling, their environment, and what they believe in. And what they believe in is based on a certain level, certain number of rules that they have made throughout their lives. But for people to go on social media and attack Laura Bailey for what a game character who was scripted did, for a small number of vile people attacking attacking her, wishing harm on her unborn baby. Which, by the way, Ronan is very cute. Why would you say these things about a kid, much less someone like has nothing to do with you? It is super crazy to where people use these keyboards thinking that they are keyboard warriors and spread hate. It is a conversation. It's separate for those people. They are a separate conversation. It is best to ignore them, but it's something entirely different where it's unfair that this is happening to Iron Mouse. This is happening to other people who have nothing involved with the stress. Like when it came to Last of Us 2, Laura Bailey had nothing to do with the community. She was there for a particular role. She believed in the role for what it was trying to say. And people often twist messages to fit their own narrative. And that is a problem. And there's no point to this video other than looking at the comments regarding the Iron Mouse situation. Actually, there's another thing I didn't read. As a husband to a wife with chronic disease, in my experience, people do not understand the struggle. Most people will agree when asked that someone sick is courageous, that they are so impressed with what they do and cope with. I do believe they care, but they do not understand. How is it my wife and how it seems to be with your friend is known is wait how is it with my wife and how it seems to be with your friend is knowing the person beyond the challenges. Those amazing people are just dealt with a bad hand. How can they open to you about the struggle and the challenges? Then you see people hate on them. Of course my wife experiences is nowhere near a mouse. She's not online, but she did come home crying about coworkers finding her too slow or not strong enough. When you see this as someone that cares, it really seems like the most unjust thing in the world. But you have more information. They don't, and they can't know. It's I'm laughing because it's very honest, because how would they understand? I earlier this year and when I'm dealing with chronic inflammation, chronic flares. There's a lot of people who understands to where, oh, my father went through this. Oh, my friend struggles with this. Oh, my grandmother has this. It's a problem where people make comments, people throw rage, but ultimately people, the moment they speak about something, they either speak from a lack of knowledge or from personal experience. And if you say one thing or the other, it's anything that you say is often based on the experience you had. I it's I don't mean to trauma dump, but when I read that, it hurts me because um whenever I have these gout flare ups, and when it keeps me from just getting out of bed, when it keeps me from just getting up, it is demoralizing. It is the last time I had a knee inflammation, I didn't have my medication. I messed up, and I simply couldn't get out of bed. The attempt to crunch out of bed, to like lift myself up out of bed, is extremely painful sometimes. When I had my hand, now my hand's feeling better, so good, but when my hand flared up, every attempt to move, to be a person, hurt. And when my leg had a problem just bending like a normal person, it can bend great now, but it hurt. And when I was dealing with this inflammation, it felt like I I was less than. I was not good enough. I felt like I failed because I had every opportunity to get the medication I needed before this could have ever happened, and I failed to like to get my prescriptions earlier because I thought I conquered it. I thought I conquered my illness, and I thought that if I had a clean diet, if I kept exercising and I was very careful, then I could have avoided it. But the problem is, it didn't work. And when I had the inflammation, I was out for a week, sometimes out for 2 weeks, because I tried my best to get my medication in. If I couldn't, if neither my family or I could have gotten to the medication in time, then I had to deal with getting like drinking aspirin or drinking like NSAIDs by accident. Because not accident, because that's what I had. And the biggest strain that comes from me is like, it's you would, because you would think that, oh, um, this guy's having a bad time. He's having inflammation. That's fine. He's going through it. But the worst thing that goes through my head is being scared and being afraid of people not believing me. I went through I went through several periods back in high school to where I had inflammation for the first time when it came to gout. I couldn't explain it. I can like express these things, and um for a brief moment my coach didn't believe me until she saw me like go through it before she finally believed me. And it took a minute for my family to like understand that, oh, he's actually not lying. It there's like but the moment but it doesn't change the fact that when I had inflammation that made me feel less than, for it to compound as, oh no, they don't believe me, it just makes you feel worse. And when I had these moments of weakness, I personally like, it's I'm years beyond that now, but it doesn't change the fact that I will never know what kind of struggles that Iron Mouse went through. I will never know what it would feel like to not be able to get out of bed, to not be able to feel human. And the moment that the technology allows you to be like a VTuber, to see people, it's super crazy. I'm very happy that she's been able to like slowly get better, and the amount of work that she did to finally get a better workspace in a way, to finally be able to like start moving like for the first time. It's super crazy to where there's a lot of things that you don't know about a person, and people feel like it's their God-given right to say it anyways, to go unfiltered. But you don't say these in public, so why do you say it through social media? And this video is just to bring attention to it, and I don't know but how to fix it. No one knows how to fix it, but all you can do is be curious, never judgmental. It's the best thing we can honestly do is ask questions first before casting judgment. Because the moment you cast judgment or you say things like this person got number one streamer, this why this person is not Kaisanan, you are the moment that happens, you are tossing judgment on other people, and nobody likes the feeling of being judged unless you put yourself in a situation to do that, like competitions like powerlifting, or like if you speed run and you get judged on how quick you speed run. Like, it's the idea that the biggest request is to, when you when you talk with someone you don't know, when you talk with your family members, your friends, it is so much more enriching if you talk to them and be curious, ask questions first, not judgmental. Just please don't be judgmental to each other. That's the there's no point to this video other than just I tried to just look through this comment section. That's all I'm trying to do. But hey, this Iron Mouse situation, that's messed up.